What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about ProText Mobility, ticker is TXTM. Some good news did come out for obviously the management team. I'm going to explain what that is, what that means for us as investors, and where we are going in the short term as far as data points and price predictions. Before I get into any of that, making sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe is always greatly appreciated. And with that though, let's get right to it. So looking at this, so technically we're down 6.25%, volume 21.8 million, and basically we're near the tail end of the day, and we have had a lot less intraday volume lately, and unfortunately I always think that and associate that with a little bit more manipulation. The lower the volume, the more it can be easily manipulated, and as you can see with the short interest, it's been all over the place. So when you do see these big dips, they're closing out the positions, and ultimately this is where they take their profits. So shorts have been really taking and kind of controlling where ProText have been going, but that's very common in over-the-counter stocks. But still, long term, this is going to do a lot of good things, especially once good news does continue to come out and flow through management. Then we will get more and more investors getting in based on also the momentum indicator. Number of retail investors have been also increasing at a pretty good steady rate. So that's definitely a good sign. But getting right to it, the news today, RSA and also ProText are pleased to announce that Dr. J has received the honor of being appointed as hemp production ambassador for the government. So that's a pretty big deal if you ask me. So looking here, it goes over the role, what they're going to be doing. As far as its direct benefit of actual ProText, or how it's going to benefit ProText, I should say, it does say that they're going to be using them as a pilot. So that's definitely going to be a very good deal going forward. Hopefully we should have first-hand knowledge of what might be coming. But not only that though, looking here, as far as being a hemp production ambassador, is basically supposed to promote the whole sector in general. So I think that's going to be a very good thing for the cannabis market and also ProText. It's going to go hand in hand. So I do see this as a very good deal. Clearly the market is taking it down a little bit. The market is rebounding on a broader level though. So again, take that how you see that. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence at the end of the day. But like I always say, with lower volume, shorts will always get in. But given the circumstances, things are looking fairly good. And unfortunately, based on the actual technicals, we have been flirting with that 100-day moving average, not really necessarily able to get over that. So you can see over the last roughly about almost 5 days, we've been bouncing off of this 100-day moving average and kind of just staying there. So it's one of those things, I always picture this as someone just punching a brick wall constantly over and over. Eventually we will get through that if there is a good piece of news, or the broader market just starts to and continues to show a little bit more signs of a rebound possibly. Unfortunately, 9 times out of 10 we do bounce off of that, consolidate, and try again. That's usually what happens with the technicals. But still, above that though, we also have that 50-day moving average, which typically is very strong resistance. So that 50-day moving average is at 0.0054. In general, I think a lot of good things are coming for ProText in the short term. And despite all of that though, I think one big thing about ProText and over-the-counter stocks is if you ever even just Google ProText or TXTM stock or whatever it is, you get a lot of articles. And for an over-the-counter stock, that isn't common. So I think a lot of people are really watching ProText very closely to see how things develop, because if things start to develop in the right direction, then there is a good indication that they will actually be able to do everything they say, so make it eventually up to the NASDAQ, which is one of the huge big accomplishments for any over-the-counter stock. So I see that as a very real possibility. And then especially once it does get on the NASDAQ, it's just a matter of time before institutional presence does flood into ProText. So that's my own 2 cents on what possibly where we might be going. Given the circumstances, it does look like the market is going to be fairly neutral, if not red, up until basically the 13th, where the next CPI data. Of course, over-the-counter stocks does what they want, and especially with lower volume, it can go up with no news, or it can go down with a very good news. So it's one of those things that's just backwards sometimes. So let me know your thoughts on ProText if you've been buying, selling, holding, whatever it is. Give yourself a shout out in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. It definitely helps the channel out, and I always greatly appreciate that. With that said, let's all make a lot of money on ProText.